Every week I slide in, break it down just right. Talking boats with the passion that I bring to the mic. From the big time plays to the moments we grind. You know I'm keeping it honest, that real talk every time. I've been watching this team since way back then. And now I'm riding with my people through the losses and wins. When you pull up to the show, you know what you gon' get. 4630 in the building, Chargers fan represent.
Chargers talk 4630, yeah, we break it down clean. Real fans, real talk, everything in between. From the field to the fans, every moment we see. Turn it up, tune in, it's the place to be. Chargers talk, Chargers talk, Chargers talk, Chargers talk, Chargers talk. Yeah, that's right. Check out Stacy on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. And also don't forget about BoCap immediately following each Chargers game.
This episode of Chargers Talk 4630 is brought to you by Zevo Life, the exclusive patented superfood changing the way people fuel their bodies. Now listen, if you're looking for a game-changing way to improve your health, Zevo Life is the world's most nutrient-dense whole plant. We're talking over 50% plant protein, essential amino acids, fiber, and powerful antioxidants, all in one natural source. Just 1 teaspoon a day supports your gut, boosts your energy, and promotes healthier skin and hair. And the best part, people everywhere are giving it a 5-star review because it works. So if you're ready to feel the difference, head over to Zevo.life and start your journey with their 30-day risk-free guarantee. And because you're a loyal listener of this podcast, you get an exclusive 30% discount. Just use my code ChargeTalk4630 at checkout. That's without the R. That's ChargeTalk4630. Take control of your health today with Zevo Life. Your body will thank you. Good morning. How's everybody doing? This is Stacy, and welcome to Chargers Talk 4630. Thank you for joining me here today. I really appreciate you. And before we get started, if I can ask you for a small favor, and that's to subscribe to this podcast right here on YouTube or wherever you listen to your streaming platform. It will really help our podcast and our community to continue to grow. We are officially into the Chargers 2026 off season. And this isn't a normal off season, right? At the end of the season, which unfortunately ended in a playoff loss to the New England Patriots, the Chargers immediately fired offensive coordinator Greg Roman the very next morning. And our defensive coordinator, Jesse Minter, was promoted to head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. We want to take the time now to say good luck to Jesse Minter, and thanks for all you've done the past 2 seasons. You left the Chargers with one of the top defenses in the league after it was one of the worst when you arrived. So, Jesse, we wish you a lot of luck, except for next season when you play the Chargers. All right, Charger fans, we can finally exhale, right? Because I'm not going to lie to you. Waiting for the signing got kind of stressful for us all. Social media was absolutely bananas. That was nerve-wracking. That was classic. That was Chargers anxiety. But days went by and he was not signed. I was getting some texts and DMs on my social media page saying WTF. I didn't want to jump the gun and speak on it too soon because of other employment opportunities that Mike McDaniel still had out there, right? So I did what everybody else did and just played it cool and said, I'm going to be patient. Jim Harbaugh and Joe Ortiz, they know what they're doing. They haven't brought in anyone else to fulfill that position. So I looked at that and said, the business part is what it is. And I'll just be patient and wait until he either accepts a head coaching job and we hire someone else, or he ends up taking the job as offensive coordinator for the Chargers, which I believed all the while was his best opportunity if he wasn't going to be head coach. Every single day that went by without pen hitting paper, I felt like, here we go again. Something's going to fall apart at the last second. So I just felt like some of you did. But earlier last week, the report started rolling in. He was going to interview with the Raiders, the Browns, and the Buffalo Bills. Then later in the week, he backed out of the meeting with the Browns. Then a day later, he canceled the interview with Buffalo Bills. And I never thought he was interested in the Raiders job. But still, no announcement from the Chargers. And for many, that sent panic waves throughout Charger Nation. Because when you actually look at the situation, we all felt like the best possible fit for Justin Herbert at this point in his career was hiring Mike McDaniel, right? A guy who's a great play caller, draws up explosive plays, a guy who uses a lot of motion, a lot of play action, and taking shots downfield. Things we just didn't consistently see the last 2 years under Greg Roman. So yesterday, finally, the Chargers made it official. Mike McDaniel is now the Chargers' new offensive coordinator. And yeah, that's a big deal. Let's start with why this process dragged out the way it did. Mike McDaniel was one of the hottest names on the coaching market. This wasn't just a random hire, right? This was a guy that many reports said he was drawing interest from the Ravens, the Raiders, the Browns, the Buccaneers, the Bills, both for head coaching jobs and offensive coordinator roles. So the Chargers knew exactly what they were dealing with. They weren't the only ones wanting his services. But as the days went on, the picture started to get clearer. Mike McDaniel removed himself from consideration for multiple jobs and multiple interviews. And that's when it became obvious this was not about leverage. This wasn't about waiting for a better deal. This was about the right fit because, yes, Josh Allen is great. Buffalo is still talented, but McDaniel chose the Chargers. And I think that says something about Justin Herbert, about this roster, and about where this offense can go. Now, according to Albert Breer, who's a respected sports journalist and reporter, he said this, and I want to quote. He mentioned that McDaniel may have felt uneasy interviewing for the Bills' job so soon after essentially committing to the Chargers. And coaching is a relationship business. Burning bridges matter. So instead of chasing another opportunity and risking his reputation, McDaniel made the call. And I end the quote. So Chargers it is. So if we can be honest about the last two postseasons, they were ugly. After the 2024 season, the Chargers lost to the Houston Texans 32-12 in the wild card round. This year, even worse, right? A 16-3 loss to the New England Patriots where they didn't score a single touchdown. Now, that's unacceptable from this organization, especially when you have a Justin Herbert as your quarterback. And that's why the Chargers had to make these changes. Greg Roman was fired. Offensive line coach Mike Devlin was fired. Not because Greg Roman didn't have success. Herbert actually had his most efficient season in 2024, but the offense hit its ceiling. A very clear ceiling. Greg Roman's scheme was run heavy, control, be safe, and sometimes it worked in stretches, but Herbert threw only 3 interceptions in 2024. He was efficient, he was smart, and ball security was key. But when it came time to chase points, when it came time to win playoff games, the offense didn't have any answers. It wasn't Justin Herbert's fault. The Greg Roman hire was bad from the start. It was just not the right fit for a quarterback of Justin Herbert's talent. Now, Mike McDaniel is here to change that. This is the hire that should have Charger fans fired up. Hey guys, I got to put you on to something I've been checking out. It's a company called Distill Union. They make these slick minimalistic wallets and magnetic key organizers, right? That just makes life easier. And get this, I've got an exclusive 20% off just for you. All you got to do is go to distillunion.com, make your purchase, and don't forget, when you check out, use my code ChargeTalk4630. I earn a small commission when you use my code, so when you buy, you're not only supporting me in the show, you're getting the best deal they offer. Mike McDaniel now gets to work with Justin Herbert, the number 6 pick in the 2020 draft. 1 pick after Tua, who McDaniel coached in Miami. And since we're being honest, let's keep it real. Tua's skill set required everything around him to be perfect. Timing, structure, precision. If anything broke down, the offense stalled. Herbert, totally different. Herbert gives McDaniel something he never had in Miami. He's mobile, has elite arm talent, size, and the ability to make plays out of structure and off script. Herbert threw for nearly 233 yards per game in 2025. He made the Pro Bowl and did it behind an offensive line that was absolutely destroyed by injuries. No All-Pro left tackle Rashawn Slater all season. No Pro Bowl right tackle Joe Alt out for the season. Any improvement on offense starts with those guys being healthy, period. But scheme matters too. McDaniel brings motion, misdirection, play action, explosive concepts, and most importantly, creativity, right? This is about unlocking Justin Herbert while he's still in his prime. Now, I know some fans, probably not Charger fans, will put in the comments, well, didn't McDaniel just get fired from Miami? And that's fair, right? McDaniel finished with a record of 35-33 as Dolphins head coach, but context matters. Miami started the season 1-6. They rallied late, finished 7-10. Tua struggled. McDaniel benched him down the stretch. This isn't about McDaniel failing as a coach. The team, despite dealing with all kinds of adversity, played hard for Coach McDaniel down the stretch. This is about him being better suited right now as an offensive guru and not a CEO-style head coach. And that's exactly what the Chargers need. And just when Charger fans were already feeling good, the team added some icing on the cake. Defensive tackle T.F. Tart, who has been nothing but a beast on the line and blowing up plays in the backfield, has re-signed with the Chargers for 3 years, $37 million, plus a $20 million signing bonus. And trust me, Tart earned every bit of it. He played his tail off the last couple of seasons. He anchored that defensive line. He brought toughness and consistency. He's a great example of what a Jim Harbaugh type player looks like. Re-signing T.R. Tart was a quiet but important move. Championship teams don't just chase stars, but they keep their dogs. And T.R. Tart has been nothing but a dog since getting here from the Tennessee Titans. This third season under Jim Harbaugh and Joe Ortiz is going to be interesting, right? The Chargers have a lot of cap room. They have a lot of money to spend. So I'm excited to see what playmakers they're going to bring in here to elevate the team to the next level. So, yeah, yesterday feels like a win, a big win. Not a Super Bowl, not a parade, but a step in the right direction. The Chargers didn't panic. They didn't settle. They landed the guy they wanted, and I like that. Now, make no mistake about it. The Chargers will get double-digit wins again. The Chargers will make the playoffs for the third year in a row, and I believe we will have playoff success this year. But again, make no mistake about it. Mike McDaniel is here to elevate Justin Herbert, modernize this offense, and raise the ceiling of this team when it matters the most, January football. The ceiling should be the Super Bowl, right? And if there's a floor, it should be at least the AFC title game. This is the third season of Jim Harbaugh, and everything is falling in line with finishing off building a complete team and being ready to challenge. And if this works, McDaniel could be right back in the head coaching conversation in 2027. But I don't care about the 2027 season. I care about this season in 2026 because I want to win real bad, and I want to win right now. But for the moment, the focus is simple. Get better, win playoff games, and stop wasting Justin Herbert's prime. And for the first time in a while, it actually feels like the Chargers are aligned on how to do that. So let me close with this. You know, when I really sit back and think about Jim Harbaugh, he's always struck me as a coach that stands on what he believes in. He believes in winning in the trenches. He believes in being tough and physical, imposing your will, especially on the offensive side of the ball. He believes in running the football downhill and controlling the game. That's who Jim Harbaugh is. So when he brought his friend and offensive coordinator Greg Roman with him, that wasn't a surprise to me. Roman teaches the exact style of football that Harbaugh believes in. But watching it, it almost felt like watching football, how it used to look in the late 80s and the early 90s. And the league has moved on from that, right? So, yes, you still have to be tough, play physical, and run the ball. So we know you need that, and you can't run away from it. But this is 2026 now, and we're in a passing league. You've got to score points. You got to be explosive, and you got to have one of those dudes as the quarterback. And the Chargers do, right? The Chargers have one of those dudes in Justin Herbert. But what really stood out to me is that Jim Harbaugh recognized that as much as he believes in that physical run-first identity, it just wasn't a good fit for Justin Herbert. And that had to be tough to accept that, especially when it means moving off of a friend and a coach like Greg Roman, who shares the same football philosophy that Harbaugh does. But he did it anyway. He brought in Mike McDaniel, motion, play action, creativity, explosiveness. And to me, that says a lot. That tells me this isn't about ego. It's not about stubbornly doing things just one way. It's about winning. And when a coach like Jim Harbaugh is willing to evolve for his quarterback, evolve for his team, for the organization, for the fans, that tells you just how bad he wants to win right now. I'm so excited at what's to come in the third season under Jim Harbaugh. You got 2026 here. You'll have the free agency period starting in March. You'll have the draft. I believe it will be in April, late April or early May. I believe late April. And I'm excited. The Chargers is, I believe, in the top 5 with most money to spend under the cap. The first 2 years, they were doing bargain deals because they were strapped with money. But now this is the first year and the third year that they actually can go out and really bring some of the big playmakers in to help build and elevate this team and keep it growing. So I'm excited about that, but that's going to do it for this episode. And as always, I appreciate y'all for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm not on YouTube daily like I was during the season because things are not as busy right now, but I am on the usual streaming platforms when I'm not on here at least twice a week. So don't forget in your travels, anything breaking happens with the team. I may not be home in my studio, but I could jump on wherever I am on the many devices I have to discuss anything of importance with the team on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, or whatever you like listening to. I'm Stacy. This is Chargers Talk 4630 signing off. Thank you. Have the best day ever, and bolt up.
Oh, yeah, we keep it smooth.